Hello, hello, hello. I don't even know what that was, but anyways, I had like an opera moment and that absolutely failed. So I have a question from somebody. Wais, Rahmani, something like that. There's always like the most craziest names, but they're cool. They're cooler than mine, and I wish I knew how to pronounce them. But they have this question. Okay, I am dying to ask, but how do we INTPs deal with execution and procrastination issues, especially with the education system? And when you said execution, I was like, how do we deal with execution? I'm like, I think it's kind of cool. Anyways, you didn't hear that from me. So it depends on what you're actually pursuing in the education system. When I was at film school, I really loved what I was doing, and it was easier for me to not necessarily because I was thinking, because INTPs, it's really easy for us to get overwhelmed by a large amount of demand or information, and it can be really hard to move forward. But it's easier, yes, I guess, when you're really, really interested in what you're doing to divide that up. But at the same time, if you're really interested in what you're doing, you have more stamina to like plow through it. So I'm assuming that when talking about the education system, it's just a general education system. You don't maybe really care about what you're doing there. I don't know, because that's what it sounds like to me. And then my initial knee-jerk reaction is like, get out. Don't do that. Stop wasting your money. But if those are like things that you have to do, like you need some prereqs or something like that, and you don't really like it and stuff and those kind of things, how do we like handle all that demand? Well, I'll be honest. What I always did, I kind of figured out, okay, what classes are really important, what classes were not really important. And what classes can I foresee myself not needing to actually put in a whole lot of effort, and what kind of classes do I see where like, oh yeah, I really do need to focus on these classes, because let's say this class only has 3 papers and those are all of your assignments, and each one is like a gazillion points, and you have to get these done, and they do have a lot of demand on time to get these done. And so you might want to like focus your energy on that. And yeah, if you miss a couple assignments in these other places, yeah, it's okay. Because the thing is, some people, they are like bred for the education system. I could care less. Like I don't recognize my self-worth by how well I perform in the academic setting. I just don't. While other people, it is very important to them, and they feel like they succeeded now that they have a 4.0 and they got everything done and everything's on punctual time. I'm like, okay, I mean, so what? I want to learn about the universe instead. But or just whatever, something else. I mean, I'm not bound by the education system. And so it is easier for me to just kind of let go something and know that, yeah, I'll pass. I mean, you know where like the bottom line is, and I would like to be better than the bottom line. Now, again, it's like, why are we in school to begin with? Why are we in this situation to begin with? If I actually need this. So like right now, I'm trying to finish my bachelor's, and at first it was a little difficult because I'm like, why in the world? I don't need to learn about communication. I got my film degree, or it's an associate's, 3.5 years. I don't need this really. I can just go right into the business world of doing that kind of stuff. But I found out later on that people really like having, or they really wanted someone who has an associate's or a bachelor's degree in communications or some kind of communications like journalism, or just in that area, while having a background in film. And so I was like, oh, sweet. So that actually exists out there. So that motivated me to at least go through. Now, also, my parents are being very gracious as to supplying this for me, because they were in like a hole of debt in school, and they really wanted us, my brother and I, to not be in that same situation. So they're doing all sorts of great stuff for us, to be able to go through school without having debt. And I'm in their debt now. Would it be better to get to the debt to the government or debt to your mother? You might actually have to talk to her. No, no, she's great. Anyway, but yeah, so the situation is like, what is your motivation to be there? And I'm going to keep going back to that probably, because in the end, that's what really motivates us. And you may find out that you should just leave, find out what you really want to do, or like anyways, I have a video on college stuff. It's College Yay or Nay, that's what it's titled. And so you can check that out to see what my thoughts are on college. So yeah, figuring out what classes will absolutely need your attention, what classes won't necessarily need your attention, and what classes you actually enjoy. Like maybe you actually enjoy this class, or what teachers you really need to get approval of, because you might find out these teachers are later on in your course studies and you really want to have their approval, and if you mess that up, that can really make things difficult for you. So you may want to focus your appreciation for certain teachers. Anything else? It's so like the execution, like, yeah, you're needing to have a whole bunch of homework. I mean, I do kind of try to find ways, because the problem is I want to do something else. I don't care about what I'm reading most of the time. What they have us read, I don't care. And so sometimes I try to find the system that they're using. So like, for instance, I did a communications class. It was something about like, I don't remember. It was thinking. That was a cool noise. Research. See, that helped. Just something about research. It was a fancier name than that, but that was basically the gist of it. And they gave us all of these dry articles on things I just don't care about. And I'm reading these questions that we need to digest and then reciprocate, and I'm like, ah. But I read them once in a while, and because I actually did want to try, because I don't read enough, and I find the value of being able to communicate when you read. And so I was like, okay, I'll read some of them. So again, if you can find the value of what you're doing, then you'll have all sorts of energy and motivation to do what you do. But I also discovered very simplistically that the system was very simplistic. The questions went right along in order, which is always nice, with the article. And so I started to understand the format of the articles and the format of the questions, and so I could blaze through it and be able to finish it. Because in the end, unfortunately, did you get it done? Not really what you learned, which sucks. But unless you are really interested in what you're pursuing, then you want to get that extra bit. Like when I was in film school, it was both what I did and also what I gained, and I made that extra effort to make sure that this crap came in and changed my life, basically. And it really did. Made my outlook on life very interesting. I felt like Donald Trump right there. Anyways, so that's something that I would try to figure out. It's like, can you figure out the system? Can you find any workarounds? Yes, cutting corners. And that's probably what other purists would hate hearing. But again, if you're there for not your own reasons, or you're needing to just get a class finished and you have these other things that you need to do, it's okay. You can do it. Just pass, figure it out, how to figure out the system, and just finish along. So I hope that helps. Like with school stuff, I am one semester from being graduated, and I am so excited. Though I think I might be going back to school anyway for getting a certificate in audio recording. That would be awesome. And I was also thinking, like, every semester, just take a math or science course and just pop up to calculus. I took calculus a while ago, and that's gone. But just to kind of keep my mind going. That's pretty much it. But anyways, so I hope that helps. If anybody else has any words of wisdom for us INTPs of how to execute and procrastination. I didn't really touch on that, but I guess I kind of inadvertently touched on it. Find the value of what you're doing, because that will help you from the procrastination thing. Figure out what you actually need to get done. Figure out what you can procrastinate, what you can't procrastinate. So I guess just kind of go through the video and stick the word procrastinate in the appropriate areas, and it would basically be parallel to that idea. So anyway, share your thoughts. How do we execute and procrastinate, or help us out from procrastinating, as I am cycling like good INTP always should. Anyways, I will see you guys in another video, another life.